Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Cool Talk Live, brought to you by Brown's Heating and Air, with your host, Brandon Brown.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Cool Talk. This beautiful hot day. Summer is here in full force already, here right around Memorial Day weekend. So I think it's going to be a long, hot summer, Woody.
It is.
We're already in the mid-90s today.
The 2 hours of spring that we had were fun. So,
after the 8 winters, we went from winter to spring to winter to spring to summer.
And then 30 minutes of spring.
So summer's here. Everybody stay hydrated, stay cool, check on your neighbors, as it does get hot and the summer goes. Man, a lot has happened the last week. I don't even know where to start. Sometimes I come in here to the show and I'm like, man, Woody, I don't know if we can fill 30. We always fill 30 minutes because we can just talk. But sometimes I come in here and like, man, I don't know how we're going to fill 30 minutes. But today it's just so many different things have gone on and happened in just a week. It's just,
well, you blink and it's
crazy.
Like, it really does. I mean, really, like you blink and 2 months will go by for me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh.
You remember last week when we did this and we're like, nah, that was in February.
Yeah. I don't think people understand. Like it's not even done on purpose, but like I'll respond to an email and then look and like, oh my God, it's been a week and a half or 2 weeks.
Yeah. They pile up quick, especially when you're busy. I know you're busy. That's good. Good time of year to get busy. Hope everybody had an awesome Memorial Day weekend, 3-day weekend. Hope everybody remembered why we were, had that. Thank you for all the soldiers and troops who are serving now, and the ones who, from Memorial Day, the ones we lost that in the previous wars or any time that keep our country free. So thank you if you are serving or have served, and or thank you to the families if you've lost somebody. Thank you for the service of your loved one. I'm sorry for anybody that has lost a loved one in the service. We do remember them and we do thank them. It was really neat to see Sunday the Coca-Cola 600 for race, and if you watched it, it was sold out in Charlotte, which was great to see NASCAR coming back. But every car had was dedicated to a fallen soldier. So if you were able to, even watch the beginning and each car had a soldier's name on it. They had dedications to all the servicemen, all day to all the races. It was really neat to see and see the celebrations without, negativity, without, things going on, that the world has been seeing and dealing with the past several months. So it was definitely good to see people come and just celebrate and thank the ones that have died for that freedom of being able to go watch races or cook out or have a day off of work. So hope everybody had a great 3-day weekend. I know there was a lot of schools graduating and ending, so summer's finally here. A lot of kids are happy about that, and hope everybody has an awesome summer, has some great trips planned if you can afford to drive. I guess maybe if you can afford to drive on vacation, hope everybody can take a vacation. But man, it was crazy. And then, we had a daggone tornado.
Well, it wasn't funny, but like Friday, this is behind the scenes information, by the way. So I don't take off many days. I really have to kind of wait until the day opens up or somebody cancels.
Right.
And then we have a day, right? So the last Friday that I had kind of kept open just in case, right? So I was like, all right, well, I had a couple cancellations. I'm not going to like reschedule. I'll keep it open. That day was the chemical spill in Bedford.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So all of a sudden, I wake up, chemical spill.
You're not off now.
I'm not off. I got to come in and film, which is fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
I got to, keep everything updated, whatever. Okay. So that happened. So then another Friday, last Friday came around and I was like, okay, I think it's open. I'm not going to schedule anything. I had a couple cancellations, people moving stuff around Memorial Day.
Yeah,
I was getting ready for the live stream Monday at D-Day.
Right.
So then I was like, all right, well, it'd be fine. We'll get to sleep in a little bit, maybe kind of just take it easy that day. Well, yeah, Every device goes off.
Yep.
Tornado in Bedford, and then the whole day is spent communicating with people about electric outages and stuff like that. So,
Right.
so it's so fun. I'm not going to plan any more Fridays.
do
people.
not. Please don't.
For Bedford's sake, Woody is not going to plan anymore. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry.
If it comes open, he will schedule something.
I'm gonna schedule something so nothing happens.
It's so crazy the times. I mean, we've had some tornadoes and bad storms in the last several years, but I can't remember ever waking up with that bad of a storm that
No.
early in the morning.
Oh my
Wasn't
gosh.
even hot yet. It wasn't humid where they build. It was just, I felt like we lived in Oklahoma somewhere where they have them 24/7 in the summer. And I'm like, well, we woke up, the same thing. Phones going off. And actually, that tornado where it hit literally won't maybe a mile or two from where I live.
Yeah.
Like down the road. I'm like, if you're near the Sheets in New London, I'm like, oh God, here we go. I'm like right behind that. And it's so weird to hit that early in the morning. So I hope that ain't a sign of things to come this summer.
I know. Well, and it really is a wake up call because you see things that happen in Oklahoma and how towns are just completely decimated in no time.
Yeah.
And it is very you wake up and you don't have time for anything. I mean, there were times. I mean, every device was going off, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Well, is this real? Is this really happening?" And then it was on you. So I can completely see where whole towns are just caught off guard because it was such an odd time, and we're so accustomed to breaking news, alerts, and then when you hear an alert, it takes you a second. And what am I really in danger? Do I have to move?
Maybe this is not gonna.
It's not gonna hurt me. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're getting this. Wind spotted here. This house is gone. This is
I remember growing up, and they would say all the time, Central Virginia will never have to worry about tornadoes. It's the hilly city.
Exactly.
They don't really touch down in hills and over the mountains. And I'm like, I didn't worry about it the last several years when we had the one through Timberlake and then Amherst got hit real bad. Appomattox has had a bad one. I think actually that evening of Friday evening, I think one touched down near Farmville as well on that second row that come through. I don't think they've confirmed it yet, but it was a lot of damage. But growing up, I would, and even the weathermen, the news, you would always hear them say, you really don't have to worry about it in the hilly,
exactly. The mountains would break up whatever system,
but it's not. I don't know if it's just funneling through the south and where around the mountains, or it just the weather's just increasingly getting bad nationwide. The way the climate changes and different things. That's just you never heard of one that early in the morning, like 6:30, 7 in the morning. Around here having to get up and seek shelter. I can see the ones building all day with the heat and the sun and then having a bad storm, but I've never had to do that. That was the first time I think in the morning that I've been alerted and actually hit too. I mean, it did some damage, and I have not been through there, but you've seen it. How was it to see it? I know you did a lot of drone footage, but to actually see, you're driving. People say you can be driving and be perfect, and then a sudden, boom, it's like a disaster.
That's exactly, especially on Bethany Church, the area, that road where the cemetery is. If you're going down 221 and right after the cemetery, just start looking left and right, and it's just a path that went through. And then it was shortly after the storm, I got a call from somebody that said, "Hey, I think the tornado went on the back end of my farm, but I can't get back there because it rained and my truck, is getting stuck. Can you fly the drone?" So I go and take the drone down and get it up in the air. And it was amazing.
Wow.
It looked, it just was like your heart sank because as soon as you get back and the trees that were uprooted, the ground, the homes that were taken to the foundation, it's like, oh my gosh.
It's just
and it's
crazy.
just unreal. It's like somebody went through with a bulldozer and just made a road, and that was it. And that was only a couple hours before. So.
Yeah, and we actually knew some people that were at the beach and got the call. They live over there and went through their land. Luckily, it's a brand new house. They said it was very minor damage to the house, but he had a box trailer with lawnmowers and stuff, and it's missing.
Gosh,
I don't know if he's found that yet. I need to ask him.
Yeah.
There was trees down everywhere, but your video and you put your video up on Watts Creative Studios Facebook page. So if you're listening and want to see it, there's a lot of drone footage, and it's just so crazy. I think they labeled it as an EF2, like only 1 mile per hour though from a 3. So I don't know. it looked like some 3 damage, but
yeah, I stayed away from the homes because
yeah,
you always battle with like being a camera person. I always battle like when something happens, how much you really want to show privacy, and
Yeah.
I always lean towards I give people their privacy,
yeah.
and I never want to post any. So mine is all land
Yeah.
damage,
But
and
it's amazing. The damage, the footage you got is just amazing to see. Just to see the path, you can see the path and follow it with the trees and how they're laying and
and it
spun.
ripped them up. It
Yeah.
ripped the trees out of the ground. Like I'm talking,
is
it didn't
crazy.
break them. Literally ripped them
That's
up.
whole. So they were just whole trees.
And these are like fully grown, huge trees. Like these are not like yeah, they're just laying on the ground. It's like somebody went through and just pulled them out of the ground. That's it.
Oh my god! That's imagine that power of wind.
It was and so it was, and then what's interesting working on the communication side is how quick and how much work goes into one, the saving lives, but 2, restoring power and utilities,
and how quick they do.
Because I'm telling you, and I'm not griping, because I know when the power goes out, I'm one of the first ones like, man, I wish power come back on. I'm telling you, within minutes, you have crews that are dispatched and they are working around the clock, often in the weather. Like they're up in buckets, in downpours, wind, and trying to get power restored. And you've got to remember, we do not live in a city. We live we live in the mountains. So you have power lines that are going through terrain. They're not like all.
It ain't easy.
No, if a line goes down, it's not like you can walk up there and pick it up. I mean, these most of the time when it goes down, it is in dense mountain wood. I mean, it's just out there. So to see how quick the electric department got to it and how much work goes into restoring power and how quickly, but also like the only thing people exercise patience with them.
Yes,
I mean, because these are humans, and yes, they have backup they call in, and yes, they are working around the clock, and they are up literally every time they go up a pole, they're putting their life on the line.
Right.
So just have a little patience and realize that they absolutely want your air and TV back on as quick as you do.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
They're out there in it. So, but I'm glad it didn't do more damage than what it did.
Yeah, absolutely. And a huge shout out to the Bedford Fire and Rescue. Everybody that responded that day were volunteers. So it was a Friday. Most of them probably had to call in sick or take off work, miss work, miss events. It was last day of school for a lot of their kids. So some of them, I'm sure, missed different things, but they volunteered, and I was listening to it on the scanner and just hearing them go house to house, trying to clear them, make sure they're right. There was thunder and lightning all around them still, rain pouring down, but it did not stop them. And they show up every time, the chemical spill, the tornado. So please support your local fire departments, volunteer or paid. These are humans that, and I've done it for years. I was a volunteer and paid, and I know how it feels. You get into situations where sometimes you don't know if you're going home to your family. But you never hesitate to go help. And Bedford was on site. I think Forrest was there, some people from the lake, but everybody that showed up. Thank you is not enough, but I know we just got to say it. Make sure you thank them, support them. If they send out a letter for donations, it's not they don't get paid. So if they need donations, it's to help buy equipment and updated technology like drones and stuff. Like drones can save people's lives. Let's say somebody was missing.
They did last week. The Bedford Fire Department did they found like a 10-year-old boy.
Oh yeah, there was a missing boy.
There was a 10-year-old boy they found with a drone. Yeah. So
and they got to take training for that. You can't just buy a drone and say, "Hey, or go find a boy." It takes hours to learn how to fly a drone and operate a camera and know it the right way without break, because it's so expensive without wrecking it and breaking that stuff.
And these are outfitted with like heat cameras, and they're not just the ones you get on Amazon. They have specialized equipment to help save, and they saved hikers that were up on the trail. Remember?
I did. I saw
it was
that
like
too.
4 hikers that were stranded that they put the drone up and saved them that way. So it's money like needed.
Yeah, thank you to the volunteers, the power companies, the police, the utilities, water, everybody that shows up 24/7 when you need them. So yeah, definitely. I know when it's hot, yeah, you want your air and stuff on. It's a good point. Just be patient because they're all, trust me, they're working on it. Nobody, they know immediately when there's a power outage and there's always somebody working on it. They never turn down or delay trying to help people.
No, and it was it. I was getting, and this is not touting my horn. This is like praising the directors. Like it was around 9, 10 o'clock at night, and all the directors were still in their office sending me alerts, and they said, "Call me in the office if you need anything." And they were actually in the building, in their office.
Yeah, they don't go home.
And the power was back on, and they were just making sure. So I mean, the time is put in, even though they may not be on Facebook updating you. They trust me, they are working hard.
Yeah, thank y'all for everybody that showed up in all counties. If you do it, volunteer paid for your service. That's amazing. In other good news, we actually have you seen the new Top Gun movie yet, Woody?
We went Friday and saw it.
Oh, we went
after the tornado.
Actually, yeah, we went Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night. That was amazing.
Thank you. I hope I don't hype it up too much.
Hype it up.
It's probably one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, legitimately, like sitting in the theater. I love the original. Top Gun original is probably in my top 5 anyway.
Yeah, great storyline on both of them.
Oh my God, this one though was amazing. Amazing.
And someone was on the radio yesterday, I was here, and they were like, if you had to choose just one, the Top Gun original or this one, what would you choose? And I'm saying you can't. I know it's
together.
They're not together because the Top Gun original was so long ago.
Yeah,
in that time era, that was the best ever. And then time goes on, and now in this era, Top Gun Maverick was, they did a great job. You've got to
look at it. All right, so I think, and this is a pretty bold opinion for a movie guy, I think it's probably the most well-executed sequel out there. And that includes the Star Wars movies. That includes, they took a movie that is 36 years old.
Yeah.
It was made in 1986, I believe. It was released in 1986. So imagine that, and then was able to bridge it so well. Now look at like Star Wars, right? They were made in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And then they come out with a new one. And it's nice and picks up the story, but there's so much difference, like in technology.
Yeah, right.
Special effects, everything. The way they did Maverick, it did not take you out of it. You didn't think, "Oh my gosh, look how new this is." No, it was fantastic. It was a complete bridge with camera work, with color, everything.
And they incorporated a lot of the old stuff, like some of the old planes.
It was wonderful.
A lot of the old cast, the old planes. So the old story connected with the new.
Yep.
Having the storyline with Goose and his son.
Yep.
It was just it was definitely A+ and well put on.
I can't say enough.
And they broke a record, right? 157
it's like Tom's
million,
first, which is hard to believe.
Yeah,
that this is his first $100 million opening weekend. Because I'm gonna be honest. Listen, I take it personal.
Isn't he in Mission Impossible too, right?
That's what I'm saying. I thought that, but no, he has such a steady track record. I would have thought. But listen, this movie well deserved. So
yeah, and great timing on the weekend. They come out Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
There's no. It was all about America. It was freedom. It was great to hear and see. And we got a commercial right now. We'll be right back after this break.
Hello, we'll be on the line shortly. From all our team, thanks for calling to learn more about Trane Heating and Cooling. Everyone knows it's hard to stop a train. But it's not just about never stopping. It's about never settling. Always moving forward, revolutionizing again and again. The way we make our spaces more comfortable, more livable, and each time asking one simple question. What's next? That's how we've been a leader for more than a century. Because hard to stop doesn't just mean our products can keep going. It means we will too.
Epic.
Yeah, that was great. And they showed the previews of the next Mission Impossible coming out next year?
I think
during the movie.
Those are good too. Like,
so that might
from the third one on. The first two were okay. From the third one on though, those have been steady. Those have been these are pretty good.
But to me, I mean, to be 30, that big of a gap, Tom Cruise, he looked great. He didn't look really aged.
No, not at all.
So that I think that helped keep the movie really entertaining because he didn't look that big of an age gap. on his part. So it kind of was like the movie flowed. It was
Yep.
almost like it flowed from 1 to 2 without any.
And the fact that they included Iceman.
Yeah.
Iceman was in
Yeah.
it, and the way they incorporated
Yes.
him was wonderful.
Yes.
It was a beautiful way to incorporate Val and given his current condition and everything.
Yeah, so is he really? I didn't know he was. So he is.
He has really. Yeah, he can't like. He's got. I think it was. I know he had throat cancer, but I think he still talks through like the trach. And
Okay.
and
Okay.
he's had some health issues, but the fact that they included him
They
and
did
the
get
way
him
they
in.
did it was so well done. I can't it.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think I said this earlier, that it's a movie that really doesn't have any hidden agendas. You know,
Right.
like you see it and it's just a good movie.
Yeah.
And it's got a solid story. And then for people that just really don't want anything political or anything, it was just kind of like, man, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great.
And that's
This is-
one reason it broke records. I think.
I think so. I think this is what people want in entertainment.
Yeah, that's definitely. And if you hadn't seen it, go see it. It's definitely worth it. Worth to go see. It was a great film, great production. One thing, I guess, another thing too that happened last week was very horrible. The shooting in Texas. Yeah, hearts and prayers to everybody down there. Having kids that age, I just could not imagine getting that call. And it's so sad that, you know, we always say on here, we're not political, so it's so sad that it gets political and for power and different things when stuff like this happens. I'm not for that. I don't care. Like I've always said before, I don't care who votes for who and what you vote for, as long as you vote and you stand up for what you believe in. You'll always have, I'll always have your back on anything. I mean, whether I believe it or think it or not, everybody deserves their opinions. And it's just so, this tragedy is just horrible, students and teachers. And to me, it also takes the effect that, teachers are just so underestimated, underrespected, underpaid. They don't just teach. You got to think about it. They're having the kids. They're a safe haven. They're when we learned that, I guess since 2020 when we were locked down, as yes, these school shootings happen, but we learned that since the lockdown that these kids need to be in school. There's a lot of protection there, but there's also the teachers, take a lot on them other than teaching and counseling and coaching, to make sure these kids are kept safe and they're fed. So I know that all the teachers there that even survived feel horrible, thinking probably they could have done more or what to do. It's just so sad. I mean, and prayers are with all them. And I don't know what can be done. In my opinion, personally, I don't think, more and more laws are going to help things like this. Bad people are going to find ways to do bad things. They always have. Think back to the beginning of the time, Cain killed Abel with a rock, and God didn't blame the rock. He blamed Cain. So we've got to get to the root of the problem too. If there's ways to secure and get guns safely, I'm all for it. If they need to add different things, I'm not saying I'm against that. I'm just saying that if evil wants to prevail, they're going to find a way. So there's got to be some other things we can do, putting money into schools with better security systems, armed guards, things like that. There's other ways we can also do it. Just instead of taking every time there's a shooting and making it a big agenda of power and vote, these kids' lives mean more than that. And I think, our prayers with all of them, the two teachers, the guy, I guess that was off-duty ranger that ended up going in and stopping the shooter, because the other cops, they're still investigating. And just a lot of weird things coming out, but definitely feel bad because I've got kids that age and I just couldn't imagine getting that call and having to go through that. So keep them in prayers and minds, but we also just, always be vigilant and looking. There's maybe signs if you ever have concerns with somebody, school or older, that may need some mental help, call somebody. Never let it go. Let's help people that, mental illnesses is really big in America, and it's going rapid. And if somebody needs help, let's get them the help. If you see signs of it, or never be afraid to speak up, and maybe you'll prevent, a shooting or something happening. But hopefully I know that they can move on and respect, and all these funerals are respected, and they rest in peace. And we pray for all the families and everybody around it. Hopefully we come up with some things to kind of, catch these things in time. I think it's always hard. I know it's always hard. They said the guy, I think the shooter, his sister, I think she's actually in the Navy or Air Force. So, and she was, very heartbroken, distraught about everything that happened, but she's an active service member. So you never know what's going through people's minds in life. So always, I mean, and that just goes to show anybody you come in contact with, always be in contact with love and kindness. And that just goes a long way, because you never know what's going through people's minds at home, at work, the stress levels that you can't see, but your interaction with them could help, you know, cool off something or help them if they need help, so they can approach you. Always be approachable and talk people through things, because sometimes people just need to talk, and if they get ignored and pushed to the side, that's when they explode. So thank you to all the teachers out there as well. We thanked some volunteers earlier for fire and rescue. We want to thank teachers, principals, counselors. You definitely are under respected, and I guess not under respected, but underpaid, definitely under what's the word, Woody? Under not under
everything under.
It is. It's just, it's sad.
Yeah.
But they do a lot, and it's just the last couple of years has been proof that, these schools are safe havens in many ways, not just to teach. And anybody that does that, definitely you have my respects and my gratitude for dedicating your life to teach and keep kids safe. It's a long school year. I know they just get summer and Christmas off, but you're there from 7 to, sometimes I know teachers 7 to 7, and you're always, looking out for others and kids. So thank you for anybody that teaches and does that. And it is a reward job, even though you have some of these tragedies that make you question your job. And if you could ever, protect like that, but just keep your heads up, and we'll keep in prayer as a country that, we can get these issues resolved and make a safer place for everybody. So with that note, we will see y'all next week. Have a blessed week and be safe.